Warning, the following story is still obviously fictional. We still don't know anybody or any corporations mentioned, except Chris Grigo, who still doesn't count. And it still didn't really happen. Still cool? Cool. Previously on the Hanable Invasion and Embellished History.
Achoo!
In October 2015, upping the ante in his ongoing clash with Sharkey, A.K. Blakemore took it upon himself to pen their longest and most elaborate project to date, a 21-minute review of the entire Saw franchise.
If I remember correctly, Saw Reality was this massive production, filled with cutaways, scene recreations, and way more pictures than we'd had before. But it kept being derailed by Sharkey and AK's fight.
Sharkey got annoyed that AK hadn't written him a big enough part, so he started messing with the filming.
I've got another job. Just wait there for me, okay? Just wait there.
So AK threw Sharky's hat, then Sharkey poisoned AK's water, and that's when it really started to escalate. We heard that you had a 30-second scene recreation that took 5 hours to film.
I think it took a little bit longer, actually.
Really? Why?
Revenge.
AK knew I hated lying on that floor. My back still wasn't fully recovered from when Hannibal came at me with that hammer in the 10 Easy Steps video.
Unfortunately for the gang, these progressing pranks were starting to put them severely behind schedule.
I ended up with hundreds of pictures to draw with only 3 days to draw them in. Everyone knows it takes at least 4 minutes to get a picture right. I just didn't have time.
Inevitably, production suffered and there were no pictures for the first 4 minutes.
If I remember correctly, all we had was Hannibal talking. Who watches reviews for that?
And then, with everything seemingly at its worst, tragedy struck on the final day of shooting.
I think I was so worn down and stressed by the upcoming deadline that I ended up making myself ill.
When Hannibal got shingles, an illness that makes you feel weak and achy, I couldn't help but feel partially responsible. And of course, the only scenes left to film were Hannibal and me fighting, Hannibal stuck in a trap and struggling, and Hannibal encased in ice hanging from the ceiling. That last one got cut though.
But Sharkey, oblivious to everybody's problems, retaliated one more time.
If I remember correctly, Sharkey had the job of writing the labels and putting the straps to make it look like the trap was working.
Still, despite illness, time restraints, and internal sabotage, Sorality, a Saw franchise review, is the Hanable Invasion's most watched video to date, amassing a whopping 159 views. It also got positive reviews from the 4-minute mark, where it got good.
After a quick recovery, we all agreed that we needed to go on a stress-free break. So we decided the sensible thing to do would be to go on tour to promote ourselves.
So, over the next 2.5 months, the group traveled to 63 locations worldwide, including cities in America, Japan, and Brazil.
We even went to Antarctica so that we could say we toured in every continent.
But there was one unforeseen problem with this plan.
We were enjoying ourselves so much, we forgot we still needed to create new content. The plan was to keep our integrity by not letting the quality drop.
The group then proceeded to work on what would be their worst received video, a vlog.
The idea of doing vlogs was purely financial. We could double our output by talking about making videos instead of having to actually make them. I realise now it wasn't our smartest idea, and we don't plan on doing anything like that again anytime soon.
If I remember correctly, something about it just felt off from the get-go. AK didn't know how to talk to the camera, or what to talk about. Plus, we'd be saying stuff like Merry Christmas, and it would be 30 where we were in Australia.
But whilst neither of the 2 vlogs created on tour came across naturally, or with purpose for existing, the group also produced 2 more no time to watch videos.
It had been over 3 months since the last one, so we had some time to learn from past mistakes and make some organic changes to the formula for the best.
If I remember correctly, it got pointed out to us that the more time we spent on no time to watch, the more it resembled other types of review on the platform. Is it true what happened with CinemaSins? Yes, they sued us.
With an 8th lawsuit to deal with, all money sunk into the tour, and completely debilitated hopes after the pun-filled and enthusiastic Spectre video, the gang was quickly losing sight of how to keep things afloat.
Look at these viewing figures! A 5, 2 3s, a 2! Spectre got a 2! And I watched it at least once to check that it looked okay.
But amidst hardship, there was a saving grace. Hannibal had spent the month of November writing for a competition.
The No Na Rome No.
No, right, no?
If I remember correctly, it was called Ni No Romi.
NaNoMoRai?
Hannibal's attempt to complete NaNoWriMo, or a National Novel Writing Month,
in which applicants have to write 50,000 words in a month, received a moderate 6 views in its opening day, despite being sandwiched between 4 poorly received productions. It also gave the group one of their most vulnerable and personable videos to date.
Now, I know what you're thinking. We were on tour during that video, so why does it all look like it was shot in the same place? Well, there is a perfectly logical explanation for it.
With the tour finally over, a channel in complete disrepair, and a feud that had long overstayed its welcome, the group had a meeting. If I remember correctly, we all sat down and just talked, which we hadn't done in ages, about the downsides of fame and success, where we all wanted to go and where we felt we were. It was a surprisingly mature moment amongst the madness.
And from that came a return to former glory. 10 Easy Steps to Becoming an Adult is an honest, fear-soaked glimpse into the responsibilities of getting older.
How old am I? 32. If I remember correctly, I'm 6.
I don't know, 50 or something? Don't worry about it.
Another decision reached at the meeting was that, after the video, everybody needed to take a break from the Hanable Invasion and work on their own stuff for a while. Bear started work on a still unreleased rock album.
It was a pub that I used to know that was imaginary.
And AK began work on a memoir of his time with the group. But something was still bothering Hanable.
I had this feeling we'd blown an opportunity with the vlogs. It was a chance to connect with our audience in a way we usually couldn't. Oh, the tour? Yeah, nobody anywhere came to see us. Huge miscalculation on our part.
So, in February 2016, 1 whole year after their first video, Hanable took it upon herself to do what nobody asked for, and created a 20-minute solo animated anniversary vlog, detailing the origins leading up to the start of the channel.
It was all her words, her editing, her pictures. It was the first truly solo production on the channel. Well, unless you count Sharky's 40-minute self-examination video that mysteriously corrupted when I was uploading it. Mechanism.
Of course I'm not better than my documentary, Sharky. Finding the Inner Shark got corrupted, along with all the raw footage. Hanable can have the credit as the innovator. I mean, it isn't really animated. It's just a podcast with a few pictures. But yeah, not bitter.
Opening to an astounding 7 views, Vlog 3 First Year Anniversary is a well-received and heartfelt sleeper hit. But things wouldn't remain on this up forever.
Anger! Anger! I don't even know how to be angry!
We all agreed that this idea was a train wreck, and it might actually kill a few people.
If I remember correctly, I said love. If you want to date a fictional character, fine. But you better know what you're dealing with.
Next time on The Hanable Invasion, an Embellished History.